You are now tuned in to Chicago Red TV, where reality is alleged and all things alleged could be reality. Hello, everybody, redheads. It's your favorite girl from the Midwest, Chicago Red, and I am here to give you my opinion about the first episode of season 10 of Ready to Love. It's been a long time coming, y'all. I've had so many opinions over the last 9 seasons, but never shared one thought. But I'm sharing my thoughts now. Yeah, it's time. It's very much so time. So let's go ahead and get into this review. So this particular episode started with the first 10. I'm gonna call them players. The first 10 players, 5 women, 5 men. And the episode opened up with Tommy running through the street. Oh, it's in Philadelphia this time. It's in Philly. And he's running through the streets of Philly. He ran up the steps, the iconic Rocky. He ran up those stairs. And pretty much, just did his normal nephew Tommy spiel about what the season, what the expectations are for the season. And, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So let's get into it. On the very first visual of the cast, we see Deanna. Now, Deanna, I'm thinking she may be tall, but she also had on maybe 5 or 6 inch stack heels, sandals. So she may not be as tall as she visually came off as being. But she's 35. She's a firefighter. Beautiful chocolate girl. She had her hair is short, platinum blonde. It looks really good on her. Pretty smile. She comes off very what's the word? Approachable. She's approachable. Her outfit was cute. It was a neutral color, like a beige ish, short button down the front, off the shoulders. It was really cute. She did her thing. And Naeem was the first man that we were introduced to. He's 42. He's a gym owner. We found out later that he's adopted and that he has 5 children, 3 mothers. We'll talk about that a little later. The next one in was True. My first impression of True, which is a woman, was that she looked mature, seasoned. She looked like she was in my age range, which is, upwards of 50. That's, you know what? I'm not going to give her that. She looked upwards of 45. But we'll talk about her age later when we get to that point. In her mini bio, we find out that she is a brand partner. She's a brand partnership manager. And I guess I'll say it now. She's 35, but she wasn't given 35 at all, in my opinion. Who else came out? Oh, Wayne. Wayne is 36. He's a project manager. Angie is 40. She's a bartender. She was previously engaged, but her fiance died of a heart attack in his sleep. She has 10 siblings, 6 brothers. That's kind of rough. Eddie is the next player. He's 31. He's an owner and general contractor from Uptown Philly. He calls himself a complete 5-star package, is what I wrote down that he said. And then the next person that we're introduced to is Will. Will is 41. He's a biotech recruiter, twice divorced. His first divorce happened after his mom died, and his second divorce happened after his dad died. Now, that to me is a problem. It's problematic, but we're going to find out even more about why he maneuvered the way he maneuvered, which again doesn't make me comfortable in that space with him being on this type of dating show. Uh, he he gives me the vibe that he doesn't make good decisions. We'll leave that there. Kiara, she's 33, insurance specialist from Southwest Philly. She gave me bubbly, um not necessarily city girl, but you know, she's cute. She's cute. I I like her. John, which he goes by Jay. He's 35. He's a cybersecurity specialist. And he referred to his walk as a Denzel walk. Now, he also, you know what? I think I mentioned that later. I'll talk about that later when I get to it. Sahara, she's 35, and she's a home healthcare agent specialist. Um, who was that? Let me see. That's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. 10. That's 10. Okay, so that's the first cast. Tommy comes out and tells everyone that they're going to. First of all, where they're having this event, this introduction, this meet and greet is outdoors as it usually is, and but it's giving farm vibes. It seems like it's a farm, and then it's set up with this nice little gazebo esque type thing with an aisle lined with flowers, and it looks like it could be a wedding appearing or happening that day, and everyone is kind of interested in knowing, well, who's getting married. It can't be us because we just met each other. So who can it be? Who can it be now? So Tommy comes out. He says they're going to have their first ever Ready to Love wedding on the set, quote air quotes. The first wedding is about to commence, and then he introduces Cornelius and Camille from season 4, I think it was. Um, Season 4, that was DC, when they were in DC. And remember, Camille was the one who, when she saw Cornelius, she locked in. That was her man. Nobody was going to get Cornelius. I don't even think Camille dated anybody else. I don't think Cornelius dated anybody else, if I'm recalling correctly. And if they did date somebody else, it was just to stay in the rotation. But they were locked in on each other. Well, Camille was locked in on him. I felt like Cornelius kind of wanted to explore other options, but really couldn't because Camille was making it really awkward for anybody to get close to Cornelius. That's my opinion about season 4 and their relationship. But Tommy introduces Zadia as Camille's bridesmaid, and Corey is Cornelius's best man. They also were on that season. Corey was problematic, if I recall correctly. He was. Mm. They exchanged their vows, which were really nice. Very, very much so what you would expect wedding vows to be. And then afterwards, Camille tosses her bouquet. Angie and Kiara catch it, but Angie is more aggressive, and Kiara ain't for the fight, so she let Angie have it. Uh, so Angie caught the bouquet. Tommy tells them that 2 people will be eliminated before the night ends. So let's get into these side conversations. Wayne and Angie, Wayne and Angie talk. Wayne wants children, and Angie wants to take it slow regarding marriage and things of that nature coming out of her situation with her deceased fiance. Angie tells Wayne she's interested in him, and they walk away a little smitten. I liked their chemistry. I liked it. But the chemistry on this show goes in and out. What you think is cute in the beginning ain't so cute towards the middle and is chaotic at the end. So we'll see what happens with them. Deanna and Jay are chatting, and she asks, "Is he full American?" Because he kind of does have that. I don't know what it is about African Americans. We just have a look to ourselves, and when you come from another place, you don't look American. I'm trying not to sound ignorant, but you know what I'm saying. You know, black folks. You know what I'm saying. So she asked him if he's from America, and he says that people say he looks like Omar Epps. She agrees. I don't. Maybe the sun was in her eyes. I don't know, but it was not. It's not giving Omar Epps to me. It's just not. True and Naeem have a one-on-one, and he tells her she's beautiful, which she is. She is beautiful. But I don't know if it was her outfit. I don't know if it was her wig. I don't know what it was, but she just gave off older, like older than 35. She was not giving me a 35-year-old vibe at all. At all. Um, it just it wasn't hitting. So he asks, why isn't she married? And she says there are no quality men. Says the men need to use their insurance and get some therapy. And Naeem is in agreement. And I too am in agreement that we all could stand to use some therapy. I am one of them. I do need therapy. I just, what my issue is with therapy? I don't like crying. I know I should probably get therapy for that too. But I just don't want to relive the stuff that's caused me trauma. I don't want to relive it. And I feel like in therapy, it's just constantly scratching at the ground of the burial site of where you buried your trauma. And you're just digging it up and digging it up and digging it up. And I don't want to go through that. But I know I need therapy. I needed I I needed therapy when I was a teenager because there were some things, nothing physical. It was never anything physical. It was mental. Things went on in my teenage years that have probably affected me throughout my adult life and has truly hampered some of my relationships and kind of keeps me at bay when it comes to having new relationships. Um, I'm not one to be quick to befriend anyone. I'm not quick to welcome you into my world. I'm just not because people are disappointing and I don't necessarily handle disappointment well. Not that I react viciously. I'm not a vicious person. I just internalize it. And me internalizing it is days of crying and feeling sad. And like even now I'm talking, see, let me stop because I feel myself. So yeah, True tells Naeem that men need to invest in some therapy with the insurance that they have. And I agree, men and women. So Jay and Kiara are talking now. And he says in his interview that she's attractive. He tells Kiara he has a boy and a girl. He was in a relationship with his ex for 11 years, and he walked away. Kiara is already on the Jay is my man kick. Like she really said, my man, my man. She said that. She said that. They just met. Okay. Okay. Okay, girl. So Will is probably one of the older contestants. He is of this batch. He's the oldest. Angie, no, I'm sorry. Naeem is older. Naeem is 52. Will is 41. Angie is 40. But they're the only ones in this group that are in their 40s. Everybody else is between 31 and 35, I think. So yeah, everybody is a few years younger. So Will has a one-on-one with Sahara. Last relationship for Will was 5 years ago. Sahara's last relationship was a year ago. She asked if he wants children. Okay, so I had to write this down. Well, actually, I wrote everything down, but this one I have to read verbatim. Because it got a little crazy. Okay. She asked if he wants children. And he says if she doesn't, want children, then he doesn't have to have them. Sahara tells him, if you ask me if I want kids, I'ma say yeah. I'm not gonna say if the man I'm with wants kids. So Will says, so you'll have kids with or without the man? And she says, no. And at this point, Will is confused and says they agreed to disagree that they agreed. So basically, he was saying that they were saying the same thing because instead of him saying, if she wants children, then it would be okay with me. And if she's not interested, then I'm okay with that too. He didn't say it that way. He basically said the negative first. If she doesn't want kids, then I'm okay with that. And that appeared to be problematic for Sahara, the way he said it. But that was the way he said it. You understand what he meant. Like, you didn't have to take that route with the conversation. It didn't have to go that way, especially when you came back and said the exact same thing, but you started off with, if he wants children, then yes, I want children too. You saying the same thing. And so, but she did seem to go a little further with hers, where if he doesn't want them and she wants them, she's going to have it anyway. She's going to have a baby anyway. That's how Will kind of perceived what she was saying. So that's why he said, so you're going to have a baby whether he wants it or not. She was like, no. So anyway, that was that conversation. Sahara will smother her man if he, this is another part of the conversation. She said, if he snores, she's going to take her pillow and put it over his face. Because she can't deal with someone who snores. So we'll say, so you just going to murder your man because he snores. They laugh. She says she's kidding, but she says she's not kidding. So that was that. That was that conversation. Now it's time for Kiara and Naeem. And they're talking. Kiara mentions she has 2 boys, and Naeem says that he has 5 children with 3 mothers. And you could tell instantly, like right in that moment, Kiara's face just went from to I said, Kiara, girl, I feel you. I can't do 5 little kids. I had 1 child because that's all I have patience for is my 1. If he has 1, then I can deal with that 1. But if he's bringing a whole basketball team, no, I can't do it. And 3 additional personalities on top of these 5 that I have to deal with. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. And now at my age of upwards of 50, my child is in his mid 30s. I'm absolutely not dealing with anyone with 5 little babies. And when I say little babies, I'm talking about under 15. Mm-mm. I don't want to deal with anybody with any children under 18. All your kids need to be grown at this point. But, these are younger people. So I have to give that allowance for them to have young kids because they're young. But they're 5 by 3, and I don't think you were married to any of them. Well, he didn't specify, and I don't think anybody asked, but I can't do it. And Kiara had a problem with it too. So all the ladies have given their thumbs up to Eddie. Eddie. Eddie in their eyes is super fine. Now I'm not gonna take anything away from him. Eddie is attractive. I don't know if at first glance I'd be like, ooh, Eddie. He didn't give me that. But he's not, I mean, he's on the odds. He is the better looking of this group of men. He's probably the better looking. He's definitely one of the tallest. I will say that. So Deanna asked Eddie if he has children. He admits that he has a 9-year-old girl. He's a self-proclaimed girl dad. Shout out to that. Deanna tells Eddie she's a stripper. Now, again, in that moment, Eddie was intrigued by Deanna because she's beautiful. She's a deep, dark chocolate girl with this platinum blonde hair, so her skin tone pops. And she has this beautiful smile, these warm eyes, and he's here for it. And she's got a beautiful body. And then she says she's a stripper, and it just you can kind of see the in his face. It was disappointment and intrigue at the same time, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, I'm disappointed that you're a stripper, but I'm intrigued that you're a stripper. Men are so funny. I promise you, they are hilarious. People are funny to me. Um, she then right away admits that she's a firefighter, and you can see the relief on his face, like, whew, because I don't know how I was going to explain that to my mama when I bring you around, because I'm bringing you around. You coming around. You don't come around. That's what he was giving me. She says she doesn't like being in fear of things. She tackles her fears. So that's kind of why she decided to be a firefighter. Eddie is very impressed by her. And they might be the two to watch. I wrote that in my notes. They might be the two to watch, but we'll see. I kind of like them together. I like them. Will, the 41-year-old, discusses his previous marriages with the group. The group is Angie, Kiara, Deanna, Wayne, and Eddie. He says that he was married for a year because he didn't like her. His second marriage was a year too. Kiara feels that Will is an open book, but it's a fiction novel. These are my words, but this was her sentiment. She feels that Will's an open book, but it's a fiction novel. She finds it hard to believe what's written on his pages. He doesn't seem to take his life seriously. That was that last part was her quote. He doesn't take life seriously. And you'll see throughout from this point towards the end, there's an issue with Will being jokey, not really. He's present, he's in the moment, but he's going for the punchlines and not necessarily being more introspective. He's not going deeper. And that's really what the ladies want him to do, is to go a little deeper and to take this moment a little seriously and not be so lighthearted in some of the moments. It's okay to be, it's okay to have a sense of humor, but you need to know when to turn it off and on. My nose is itching. I don't know what is going on with my nose. I'm sorry. Allergies. Okay, so then next is True and Jay. And they vibe on the fact that both of their last names are Jones. Me and Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones. We got a thing going on. Okay, my bad. I'm a Jones too. That's not my birth last name, but it is. I come from Joneses, and I'm happy about it. They're some of my favorite people are my Jones family. But anyway, she asked if he has children. He says he has two. Says he has a relationship with the mother. He had a relation. He was, excuse me, he was in a relationship with the mother for 11 years. Um, True, True says he has commitment issues, and I don't know that I would say someone has commitment issues if they're with someone for 11 years, but I will say that they're okay with wasting time. I will say that. Y'all, hold on. Give me 1 second. Oh my goodness. My nose was not going to stop itching. Okay. He says he was 19 when they first met. So he uses his age as part of the reason why he was in this 11-year relationship for so long, because they started off as children. And I could see that. When I was 19, I thought I was going to be with my son's father for a really long time. And at 19, no, actually, no. When I was 17, I thought we were going to be together for a long time. I left him when I was 19 because I had had enough. Not that he wasn't a bad person. Our personalities were just different. I needed to be free and I needed to have freedom, and he wanted to be clingy and he wanted to restrict me from doing things. I'm a teenager. I fought my parents tooth and nail to have the freedoms that I have. And now you're trying to take them away from me? Absolutely not. It's not going down that way, sir. No, not even as my son's father will you ever be able to tell me what I can and cannot do, where I can and cannot go. No, no, it's not going to happen that way. Now, I will give you the respect that you deserve as my guy. I'm not going to be out here in these streets wilding out. I'm not going to be for the streets, but you absolutely cannot tell me what to do, because I'm not trying to tell you what to do. You can offer your opinion, you can provide some perspective, but it's up to me whether or not I want to take that advice. Period. So that was our issue. And at 19, with a little baby, with a 1 year old, I walked away. Bye bye. Vamonos. Yeah, but anyway, that was our first child together. And he has since had some more children. Not me. I one and done. Okay, so back to True and Jay. Okay, so he says he was 19 when he met the mother of his children. He tries to convince True that he understands commitment because he was in an 11-year relationship. But she says, just because you were with someone for 11 years doesn't mean you know commitment. She said, doesn't mean you were committed. That's what she said. Doesn't mean you're committed. And she asked what was wrong with him, and he's not feeling the 21 questions. And you know what? I'm gonna give it to Jay. I wasn't feeling her line of questioning either. In that moment, I probably wouldn't be so hell bent on making him the bad guy in that situation, especially when I don't know what the situation was. Now, in that conversation, Jay did refer to himself as a player, so that did not work to his benefit. and she used that against him several times in that conversation. So he kind of gave her the bullets when she already had the gun, and she just loaded it up and. But yeah, so he didn't like that, and I don't think after a few minutes of sitting with him and talking, doing their back and forth dance, I don't think True really felt it for him either. So that was that. Another group chat between Will, Deanna, True, and Eddie. They discuss the wedding and how Camille came in on their first day of season 4, claiming Cornelius, as I mentioned earlier. Will says, now this was funny. Will says, this is how you can rush into a marriage and end up divorced. Deanna says, like you. And True says, twice. And they both laugh. And Will is like this. I had to give it to the ladies on that one. They got him on that one. They got him right together. That was fun. Anyway, so Tommy breaks up the group and he sends the women away and talks with Will and Eddie. Tommy asks the men, who are they? You know, who do they have their eyes on right now? Will says Angie caught his eye. It was probably because of the red dress. She had on a red sleeveless dress. It like this, no sleeves. It had ruching, so it was one of those forgiving dresses. So if you have heels, peaks and valleys that you don't necessarily want showing, ruching in a dress or anything is perfect. It's helpful. Y'all, I'm sorry, my nose is itching really bad. I don't know why all of a sudden. This usually has something to do with allergies. Something is I'm I'm reacting to something, and I don't know what it is yet. I'm gonna figure it out though. But anyway, but she had on this red dress, and I think she may have been the only one in red. Yeah, she was. So she kind of stood out, and she's very fair skinned, as you saw in the picture. Excuse me. Eddie said that he liked Deanna. Deanna stood out. Tommy talks to Wayne, Naeem, and Jay. Wayne likes Deanna's energy. Jay agrees, but also mentions Kiara. Um, Jay says that she will keep a man on his toes. Naeem likes Kiara's motherly side. When they were having their conversation, he kind of was impressed by, her motherly instincts and things of that nature. When you got a mother with you, you just we're nurturing. We're just automatic nurturers, most of us, many of us, not all of us, but Tommy sits with the ladies. Angie, Sahara, and Kiara is one group, and asks who are they feeling. Kiara says Jay, and she lets the ladies know that Jay is her man, her man, her man. She also mentions Eddie. Angie says he's handsome and tall. Angie says he's just, and Sahara interjects, cute. And they all laugh in agreement. Tommy is now talking to True and Deanna. True likes Rick Fox, aka Eddie. Deanna says the one-on-one that they had gave her a deeper look into him. He's different. He's and Tommy kind of spoon feeds her different. He's not like everybody else. Tommy asks Will and Eddie who they are feeling. Eddie says Sahara. Wait, who they aren't feeling, excuse me. Who they aren't feeling. Eddie says he's not feeling Sahara. Jay in a separate group says Sahara and True. Wayne says True. He didn't like her. He didn't like her interrogation of him. I think I meant Eddie. Not Eddie. Jay. Jay didn't like her interrogation of him. Kiara isn't feeling Naeem because of his 5 children. Mm-mm. Angie mentions Will. She's not feeling Will. True also mentions Will and asks if it's a Def Comedy Jam all day. Because, like I said earlier, he it's okay to have a sense of humor, but you need to know when to turn it off. And Jay seems to be nonstop comedy, punchlines, zingers all day. And that can become a bit much. Tommy challenges Deanna to to a race up the stairs with a water hose. He says he'll win. Deanna doubts it, and I do too. So they bring Will and Naheem to the front, and Will isn't and tells Will that he's not ready to love. Um, Tommy tells Will not to leave yet, and then the ladies that are told to come up are True and Sahara. True is offended that she's in the bottom two, and Sahara is sent packing. However, Tommy brings Sahara and Will to the front and throws a curveball. And basically, the curveball is that they're not going anywhere because they deserve to see who the next crop of men and women are. And they deserve, they should have a shot at those people as well. And those people should have a shot at them. So he opts to not send anyone home on this episode, and everyone gets to stay. Sahara is pissed. She turned around and said, F all of y'all in the back of me. I don't want to talk to none of y'all. She was referring to the men. But one of the women said, the men, right? I don't know who said it, but she was like, the men, right? I guess she liked Sahara. I was like, child, please. Anyway, yeah, but the men seem to be a little taken aback at her reaction that she didn't want to be bothered with them. And I was like, I don't know why y'all mad. You sent her off. So yeah, rest easy in that. You didn't want her. So don't worry about her not wanting to mess with you. I don't understand what the problem was. But if you've watched it, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then you'll see what I'm talking about. But all in all, it was a decent episode. I can't wait to see the next crop of people because I want to see this salt and pepper hair dude. I can't. He's on the picture. I can't think of his name, but he cute. That's my speed right there. I like that one. So we will see what this next crop of 10 have to bring, these next 5 men and women. And I will absolutely be here to provide my commentary because that's what we're doing here on Chicago Red TV. I mean, it's SRT. Come on. Thank you all. Thank you for my inaugural video. Um, I hope you liked it. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. If you did like it, give me a thumbs up. If you liked it and you think some other people will like it, share the video. If you didn't like it and you think other people will get a kick out of some of the stuff that you thought was funny that I said that probably wasn't funny at the time, but you thought it was funny, share the video. All, love and hate are one and the same. You got to love me to hate me. And if you hated me, you had to love me. But anyway, like the video, y'all. Hit subscribe. I'm trying to build up this channel. I already have my Chicago Red channel, which I have over 1,000 members, 1,000 subscribers, and I want to build that up too. But that's more of a lifestyle situation. This is going to be strictly television, reality, drama. Um, I'm gonna see if I can manage to put in this new show that's coming on CBS. It's called Beyond the Gates. It's a soap opera. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it because it's soap operas are every day, and I don't know if I'm gonna have the time to do it every day. But what I may do is record all of do a week long binge watch, and then give my commentary at the end of every week. I think that's what I might do. That could be a lot too. But we'll see. It's a new show. Like I said, it's called Beyond the Gates. It's coming on CBS in Chicago. That's Channel 2. I don't know where it is in your neck of the woods, but CBS is CBS wherever you go. So we're going to give CBS our eyeballs for a minute. I want to see what it's about. If I like it, then I'm going to give some commentary on it. And Real Housewives, that's always been my zhuzh. I love Real Housewives. Not all of them. I have not watched New York this year. This year, and I did not watch. I haven't watched Salt Lake City in probably 2 or 3 seasons because I just don't care about them enough. Um, and New York, I don't like this new crop of women. They're not interesting enough to me. But Atlanta, I'm gonna see what they're doing without Kenya. I'm gonna see. Um, for sure, Potomac, but Potomac is in their ending, so we'll when that comes back, then we'll get back into Potomac. Um, uh, Beverly Hills is in the middle of their season, so I won't necessarily bother with that in the middle. I don't know. We'll see. Um, Married to Medicine, they're in the middle of their season. Um, Real Housewives of OC, Orange County, is coming up. So we'll get into that one. I don't know what's going on with Jersey. I don't know if they're going to revamp it. I don't know if they're going to bring back everybody. I will say this. I'm tired of Teresa. I'm tired of Teresa. I am tired of Teresa. I've never been one for a dingbat. Anyway, I can only take a dingbat for so many seasons. Teresa is a dingbat. I just I can't deal with a dingbat. I don't care how much she tried to change her personality. You can't change the personality of a dingbat. A dingbat is still a dingbat. I know that's going to hit some of y'all wrong because you like Teresa. I don't. And I don't have a problem saying it. Let me not say I don't like her. I don't love her enough to not like her. I don't care for her. She's not my fave. I never watched it because of her. Okay. So that's it. So like the video, subscribe, and get down in them comments, y'all. Let me talk to me. Let me know what's going on. Give me some feels. I need to understand where we are. And today is Super Bowl Sunday, y'all. So of course I'm wearing Chicago Bulls, Bears. I am Chicago Bears, baby. And hold on, y'all. Gotta see my shoes. Ugh. I don't know how I'm gonna put them on. My shoes. Because I don't care who's playing. It's always Chi-Town. It's always Chicago. To me. All day, every day. Chicago. Bears. Bulls. Cubs. Sox. Fire. Sky. Wolf. I don't care. Soccer. Basketball. Baseball. Football. Volleyball. I'm going for the home team. Chicago. What's my name? Exactly. Well, anyway, y'all, let me get out of here. I need to prepare for the evening's festivities. And I will catch y'all on the next video. Bye bye.